Welcome along to DFC Matchday Live here on Good Friday as Dartford make the trip to Chelmsford City in a massive clash in the National League South at both ends of the table. The team news then for Dartford: it's Rhys Byrne in goal with Jordan Winter, Luke Colson, Paul Rooney, Maxwell Statham, Brandon Barsi back from international duty, Joash Nembard, Taylor Maloney, Jordan Greenwich, Ollie Box and Ronnie Nelson completing the 11. On the bench it's Tom Ray, Jack Smith, Luke Allen, Alex Wall and Famnaya Shomerton. For the hosts, the Clarets, it's Henry Gray who starts in goal with Ben Brooks, Dave Winfield, Jermaine Francis, George Alexander, Finley Barbrook, Luke Jenkins, Charlie Ruff, Jazzy Barnum, Bob, Callum Watts and Josh Castiglione. On the bench, Anthony Wordsworth, Samir Carruthers, Oddie Alpha, Freddie Hockey and Henry Ochieng. Nembard sends down the line. Greenwich bounces off his knee, straight out of play for another Chelmsford throw. She's taken quickly on field. Maloney unable to nip it, and here's Castiglione. Plays a nice disguise pass down the left-hand side. Clipped into the channel for Ben Brooks. Ollie Box got a toe to it, but Brooks will get there anyway. Plays it across the face of goal. Nelson gets a challenge in, and I think then it deflects up off Charlie Ruff. Hooks it hopelessly into the middle of the park where Chelmsford get it back, and Ben Brooks can now bring it forward down the left-hand side. Barsi getting across to get tight. Castiglione now. Watts. Dartford with everyone but Greenwich back in a rigid defensive shape. So it's a really good ball through for Charlie Ruff. He's got options left and right. Here is Ruff. He's going to go alone with a shot from the edge, and it's just wide of the post. Dartford stood off Ruff there. Chelmsford working it left to right. Jenkins been the standout for me so far, and this is another one of these excellent runs forward as he finds Jermaine Francis, who's looked dangerous on the ball. Winter looking to stick with him, but Francis wriggling away. Delivers the ball down the right-hand side for Barnum. Bobbing towards George Alexander, who fires it in at the near post. Rhys Byrne got down low, but couldn't keep it out. And it's Charlie Ruff, in fact, who got the final touch. And that has been coming, you have to say, with 29 minutes played. Plays back to his goalkeeper, Rhys Byrne. You have to say, it's probably been Dartford's best couple of minutes spell of the game, really, this. Burns, ball forward, is bounced off the back of Barsi's head. Castiglione looks to hook it away. Ruff pokes it forward. Nelson will let it drop for Joash Nembard, who's shown way too much of that to George Alexander. And now Charlie Ruff is bearing down on goal. Nelson in the way, but Ruff fires it goalwards. That's a good stop from Rhys Byrne. Really good stop from Byrne. Jermaine Francis made a really good run there. Looked like he was frustrated not to get the ball, and then suddenly it arrived at his feet. He lays it back to Brooks. That's a great ball in. And it's fired in at the near post from George Alexander. Poor defending from Dartford. Not sure who it was at the near post. I want to say it was Jordan Winter, who just let Alexander come round the back of him. And a similar goal really to the opener, as Dartford just went to sleep. A good run from Alexander. And he toes it in at the near post to make it 2-0 to Chelmsford. Rooney delivers a ball in. It will drop for Ollie Box in the penalty area. It's probably kind of had many more touches than this in the penalty area so far. Box as he's taking on his man, looking to find an angle for a cross. Does just that. Greenwich knocks it down for Barsi to strike. Block on it. Might come back for Brandon Barsi. Cannoning around the penalty area. Appeals for handball, and it's in the back of the net. You see who got the effort on goal, but what a start to the second half for Dartford. I want to say perhaps it was Taylor Maloney or Jordan Greenwich. There's a few of them in and around there. I'm not 100% sure. Maloney. Dartford set piece in the first half weren't great. That's in towards Brandon Barsi. Oh, it's off the line. It's still with Paul Rooney down in the corner flag, running out of room. Rooney needs some support. He's got Box there with him. He's able to spin away from Francis. Delivers in towards the near post, which is claimed by Gray. Rooney felt he might have been fouled in doing so. Nelson down the line for Greenwich, who flicks it infield to Barsi, who's coming alive in this second half. Into the area, Brandon Barsi goes down, no penalty. Blocked, comes for Statham. Tees up Smith to let fly, and he bends one over the bar. But Dartford have done more in the opening 11 minutes of this second half than they did in the opening 45 of the first. Castiglione down the line, intercepted by Winter. Infield for Smith. Forward to Greenwich. Lays it off for Box. Good challenge from Jenkins. Just slightly underlaid that Jordan Greenwich, which allowed Luke Jenkins to get in. He's now off down the right-hand side with a good run, but he scuffs the cross half cleared, only as far as Jermaine Francis, who's going to let fly through a field of bodies, and Reece Byrne gets down and holds on to a fairly comfortable save in the end. Here's Luke Jenkins. Flick on by Rooney, will just take it the way of Carruthers. He's got to get back into the penalty area because George Alexander's in space and that Rooney has left, as Carruthers taking on Statham, his former teammate, for whipping a ball in, which is brilliantly saved by Reece Byrne. Not sure he meant it, Carruthers, but it was sneaking in, I think, at the back post, and Reece Byrne has to acrobatically tip it behind for a corner. Shomerton backed himself into a bit of trouble there, surrounded by claret shirts. Winter comes out to help, and now Dartford are in trouble because he's played that behind Reece Nelson. Here's Alexander into the area, cuts it across, and Statham intervenes. He just got the ball wrong, Alexander, at the crucial moment. Here's Jermaine Francis, though. Returns it to him. Shomerton hasn't gone with him. Now flicked in at the near, and it's stabbed home. And that'll be the goal that you think seals it. George Alexander couldn't miss. From Niall Shomerton at fault there for Dartford, didn't go with his man. And Jermaine Francis, who have been causing problems, you have to pick him up, and Dartford hadn't there. Here's Watts, Carruthers. To the right hand side for Barnum Bob, into Francis. Carruthers plays a fierce ball in, it'll come back to him. Taking on Jordan Winter. To the penalty area it comes as Alexander flicks one in behind, and it's slotted in for 4. Charlie Ruff, I think, on this occasion finishes it into the far corner. A lovely goal that, you have to say, from Chelmsford City. Dartford have been firmly bested here at the Melbourne Stadium, and that's the pick of the goals. Dispossessed by Statham. Maloney brings this forward. Now Statham again down the right hand side. Maloney hooks it over the top. Barnum Bob has gifted it to Shomerton, who's in on goal here from Niall Shomerton, has run out of room. Plays it across the face of goal towards box, and a good challenge from Winfield denies Dartford a late consolation. Winter, Smith, Nelson, Shomerton on the left hand side. Plays up to box, and the full-time whistle is blown finally for Dartford, who go down 4-1 here at the Melbourne Stadium.